Illumination Entertainment, a well-oiled hit-making machine. Even if their budgets weren't kept to 70 million, their films have all grossed their budget several times over. And you know what that means? More of the same! Even DreamWorks was never this franchise reliant. Is it a surprise that The Secret Life of Pets already had a sequel in early production when the film was released? Anyway, that brings us to Sing, their second film of the year, and another one with a confirmed sequel already. This is the type of film where your opinion on how good it will be is quite likely to be your opinion once you've seen it, thereby making this review all the more theoretically useless. So there's this koala theatre manager who puts on a singing competition to stave off the creditors breathing down his neck. We end up focusing on 5 animals that enter the competition. There's a gorilla trying to avoid getting wrapped up in his dad's gang. We have a shy elephant with vocal talent to write home about, but with terrible stage fright holding her back. There's a frustrated housewife pig resigned to her children or husband barely acknowledging her. Then there's a teenage punk porcupine constantly being put down by her boyfriend, even though she's a far better musical talent. That leaves us with a mouse in deep to some bear mobsters. From there, all the beats you'd expect happen. It's all done with such predictability and little invention that you can already imagine how dreary it is. Basically a textbook example of most of the bad tendencies of contemporary big studio CG animation. Must be a film for little kids then. Except I can't see half of these subplots registering to kids beyond the surface level. The 2 female teenagers and the gorilla's daddy issues, sure. But a frustrated housewife? A struggling theatre owner? At least the mouse's consistency in being a jerk through to the end, on top of a gifted professional voice actor who's one of the few leads that can sing well, make him a legitimately enjoyable character to adults. Being named Mike, I just hope he doesn't give the rest of us Mikes a bad name. And while I'm on the cast, I might as well mention that Scarlett Johansson's husky voice doesn't fit the porcupine at all. So on top of being far too old to play a teenager with her natural voice, there's a disconnect between her appearance and vocals akin to poor anime dubs. I teased about the music, didn't I? Well, you know how the credits of a film always have a few songs you didn't even notice? This is that tendency on steroids. There are over 60 here. In another case of the filmmakers tripping the ball in making a kids film, all the pop songs of this century are in the audition montage, which is like, name that tune, again on steroids. All the songs that get focused on are old classics. Some are in the original recording, while the cast chokes others out as best as they can manage. That's alongside using them instead of the score in several scenes, as is part of the course. Sounds like Glee, huh? Well, it is, except lacking almost any merit. But hey, at least this attitude of large hits in familiar arrangements fits in with the world, which is our world, but with animals. It's perhaps unfair to compare to Zootopia, but that film gave thought to the roles and personalities of the characters and still foregrounded their natural instincts. In Sing, they're animals because, hey, kids like animals. As do I, but the film gains nothing from that, aside from a rare gag. Though it is a quirky visual that the punks are porcupines and use their quills as accessories, but yeah, the animation does very little with them being animals. Speaking of the animation, that's another point against it. Say what you will about DreamWorks, but they almost always have something visually interesting going on these days, sometimes enough to save the film. Not only does Sing lack that, it barely qualifies as serviceable. Visually, The Secret Life of Pets had vastly appealing production design going for it. This pops up occasionally in Sing, but never enough to actively register. And the character designs are another step backward from Pets. It's not that they're uninspired, though they are, but the expressions and textures of the characters just don't gel together. It's not in the uncanny valley, but some limbo between it and normality. I just don't have words for how dispiriting it is that, accepting the visual treat that was Pets, Illumination's films have gotten less visually impressive ever since the Lorax. Search me as to how that's happened. The film is quite colourful, as Illumination's products always are, so that's something. The film's not a complete write-off. There's some amusing gags, and the whole film isn't spoiled in the trailer. Obviously Sing does appeal to kids, given how successful it's been, but that doesn't make it good for them, and I wouldn't wish this on even a child just looking for a sound and light show, let alone their parents. And for the rest of us, it's just dispiriting and routine. If you want this sort of ensemble cast flick where they band together to save a theatre, except actually funny, watch The Muppets. If you want a mixture of old and new songs performed by a likeable ensemble cast with proper character and growth, again, Glee's first few seasons have you covered. And if you want to be visually stunned in a musically inclined animated feature, Trolls has you covered. If you like Sing, good for you. But for many others, and myself, it's a product, and little more. And with that, 2016's animated features are done. I know I only started these reviews recently, but I think they'll really do the channel some good. They'll help fill unavoidable lulls between the main videos, right? So, I plan to review every theatrically released animated feature in 2017. It's not an especially promising slate, but I welcome that as a challenge. And it starts out strong with the Lego Batman movie. Just remember, folks, that I may not share the same release date as America does. Just look at Sing, which took over a month to cross the pond. So if you're in doubt as to when I can first see a film to review, check IMDb for its release date in Ireland, or the United Kingdom if it isn't there. They're almost always the same. Some films share the same date with America. Some are a week earlier or later here, others are delayed by a month or more. Some of the smaller features don't have release dates outside of America yet. If you have questions about any feature, leave a comment here, or on my channel discussion, or on any video. I guarantee I'll see it. Thanks for watching the review, folks. As always, I'm your host, Mike Culligan of Cartoon Karma. If you like what you saw, leave a like or a comment. That'd be pretty neat. Subscribing would be even neater. Or you can check out my other videos, where I cover animation of all shapes and sizes. Perhaps even follow the channel on Facebook and Twitter. All your choice, but it sure brings a smile to my face. Until next time, folks.